And this is yours.
I was gonna say, I saw the orange calipers.
Bro, so cool.
We are here in Molsheim, France, and we are going to give you guys a walking tour of the Bugatti factory. You're going to see some awesome stuff. You're going to get to see my car in production, and you could just see the beauty of this property. This is actually where they manufactured the Bugattis way back in the early 1900s, and Bugatti basically reacquired this property in 1998, and they've been building the Bugattis here since then. The Veyron model, the Chiron. There's a lot to see today, guys. Stick with us.
So welcome to Molsheim.
Thank you.
This is a place where all Bugattis are produced.
Yes, sir.
Since many, many years, because 1909, it was the original establishing of the brand here in Molsheim via Ettore Bugatti. But since, let's say, 1998, we took over the brand, rebuilt the brand, and now since about 20 years, so since we are building the car in our nice atelier where all modern Bugatti were produced. Here is the orangerie. This is the only building which was built in the time of Ettore Bugatti. He was also a passionate collector of exotic plants.
Okay.
And he decided to build his own orangerie. And with the century of the brand, we decided to rebuild it as it was before. The only difference is the sole, the bottom. So then this is our atelier, which was finished in 2003. And since the first Veyron were always produced here, we adapt the atelier for the arrival of the Chiron and its derivative. Let's say it's always a similar way of building the cars. Everything handmade and with a lot of research to the details and perfection. It starts like here. We are first of all taking the engine, build around the rear frame. Then imagine there is a rear frame pre-assembled here. In parallel, we are pre-assembling the monocoque and the front frame, putting them together, and then push the rear end of the car to the monocoque. This is a safety cell for the driver and his passenger. This is made out of carbon fiber with a lot of reinforcement inside, and it's a very sophisticated way of putting the layers of carbon together to have the maximum of rigidity. When you look at the architecture of the car, in the front, with the front frame, we have the support for the radiator, which you can find here, in the middle and so on. That means water for the engine is cooled in the front. Then you see these big pipes on the side. It goes from the driver's side to the engine via these pipes. And when you look at the size of the pipe, it's quite similar to the length of the fireman.
Yeah.
And the volume of water
is
also comparable.
Wow.
We have in total 60 liters water to cool down the engine. Because the W16 engine is also a real machine with make a lot of heat. Power on the road, but also a lot of heat. And this is exactly what you see here. And when I spoke about 60 liters water to cool down the engine, the only reserve for the expansion is that.
We saw the engine and the configurator room, and it is monstrous, and hopefully we can get maybe just some B-roll of the engine itself outside of the vehicle, but it's crazy how huge.
Yes.
Crazy how big it is outside of the vehicle.
That's why we are building the car around the engine.
Yes.
And imagine that you have always two turbochargers activated. Till 2,800 RPM, and then you activate the third and the fourth. And with that way, you avoid to have a big hole in the acceleration, or the big hole of the turbos, the lag. And like this, you have, starting from 2,000 RPM till 6,000 RPM, a flat curve of the torque, which is amazing. And as driver, you can feel it. It's always responding on the same way. Here's the suspension. We have a classical suspension with a bumper. But what is different to the other, on the top you have an hydraulic system which press and depress the spring and make you possible to change the ride height of the car. Normally you have a ride height of 115 millimeters to the bottom, and when you are driving more than 180 or put the car in handling mode, then the car goes down first in the front, then in the rear. You have 85 millimeters in the front, 90 in the rear, so it's important that you have such angle to have the pressure on the front axle to always have a good steering, and to avoid also to take off. Because we can drive in that configuration till 380 kilometers. And don't forget that the takeoff speed of an Airbus is about 300K.
I went over 300 kilometers in my Bugatti. It handled it perfectly. There is no car that is as stable and performs as well over 200 miles an hour as this car. It's impressive.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
Yes.
Thanks the W16, 1,600 horsepower.
Yes.
This is something you don't find anywhere. With this system, this is the hydraulic system for the rear wing, and it has two advantages. You have the pressure on the rear axle by high speed. Plus, when you are braking over 200k, it makes an air brake.
It's amazing looking, yes.
And you increase the aerodynamic in the wrong way to brake down on 1/3. 500 kilograms pressure on the rear wing when you are making the full brake. Here you have the exhaust system, which is made out of titanium to reduce the weight. And as you can see, it's completely encapsulated in this aluminum foil. It's a heat shield because also there it's very hot and you have to steer the heat out of the car. That means under the car we will aspirate some air, bring the fresh air in that area around the hot pipes, let's say, and put it in the back of the car. And this aluminum frame in the rear is also there to absorb the energy in case of rear crash. The rear is connected with the monocoque only with 14 bolts like this, made out of titanium.
Oh yeah.
It takes us 5 days for 3 employees to assemble the complete rolling chassis like this. So once the rolling chassis is assembled, then we put some slave wheels on it and we go on the next stage with it over there to put, because here everything is dry. You don't have the cooling water, you don't have the hydraulic system, you don't have anything.
Do you time it so every station takes the same amount of time?
No, here it's 5 days.
Yes.
No?
Total here, and then that one is
And then it's about 1 day. And this is yours.
I was gonna say, I saw the orange calipers.
Is that your first time seeing it?
This is yours.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Wow.
I'm trying to see where it is in the process. That looks a lot like the last one. Oh no, I mean, yeah, looks a lot like the last one.
That's yours in the raw stage,
Whoa,
let's say.
cool.
The real beast.
Yeah, it is.
Because you see, we fix the adapters here. You will see later on the car is prepared or was on the running road,
Yes.
which I will show you now. And for safety reason, we have to fix the car on the bottom.
That's amazing. Are those the seats?
And that's the seats.
Oh man.
Wow.
All right, he's taking them off. Bro, that is great.
Wow.
And the elephants that you suggested, Tommy.
That we were just talking about.
That's so cool. I'm glad we did all the black hardware on the motor. Under the wing is going to be bright orange, so when you see the air brake, you see an awesome orange color under there.
The motor looks amazing.
That's the temporary key.
Yeah.
But the real key should also be inside. Wait a minute.
Really? Oh, I lost my other key within a week. Look at the black anodized interior. Like, it's not all in there yet, but you can see it's affirming all the decisions that I made, where we're seeing how awesome the orange is. The gray looks darker than because we had seen what looks more like a Nardo gray out there, or Bugatti's gray, but this looks darker.
I mean, it looks spot on with your Pagani.
I don't know if that's a good or bad.
You spec'd this before picking up the Roadster.
Yeah. This one has finished that process.
This one was 1 step ahead.
Okay.
Because we already was, as you can see, with the fixings for the adapters on the running road, which I will explain you now.
Okay.
As I mentioned, the chassis is completely dry when it came out of the assembly box. And here we are putting all the fluids in with this machine. So as I mentioned, 60-liter cooling fluids.
Yeah.
And it looks quite simple, but when you open that, you understand how complicated it is.
Whoa.
Because to fulfill all these fluids, we are first of all taking vacuum in the cooling system, keep it for 10 minutes, and then the car aspirates the complete fluids inside the car to avoid to have some bubbles staying somewhere.
You have to bleed the system.
And here you put all the fluids in, and you start for the first time the engine inside the rolling chassis.
Oh.
But every engine is already tested during 8 hours on the test bank.
Yes.
The same like the gearbox, to make sure that when it's assembled here, we don't have to disassemble the car to change it.
So is mine coming here next to get
He
fluids?
was already here.
Oh, so it was already started?
Yeah, we can also start it later on.
All right.
Hey, I love
Let's
it.
go.
First cold start ever.
All right. I was building to that, but he saw right through it. I love it.
So this is our dyno, our rolling road, where, as I mentioned before, we have these adapters to fix each wheels on the bottom. In case of one roll will block, not that the colleagues is shoot in front of the door. Right? We should avoid that. For safety reason, we put some slave doors and a slave windscreen because we are simulating our driving speeds till 200 per hour. And in that condition, if one tire will explode or something like that, it needs to be protected. And also to avoid to have some exhaust gas because we are simulating speed again, very in full speed acceleration, so full charge. That means with the 1,600 horsepower, we have to absorb the exhaust, cool down the car with the front panel, which is in front of you here, is going up, putting some fresh air on the radiator. On the side, you have the fresh air coming to the engine and cooling the oil systems. Some fresh air directly to the climatization coming. That's the pipe which is
you have to simulate like it's hitting the air at 200 kilometers an hour. Yeah, we dynoed mine as well. Overproduced what you guys advertised at, so that was good.
There is always a tolerance in the power.
Sure.
And we try always to be on the higher tolerance.
There you go. I love it. I love it. That's great.
That's awesome.
When the rolling chassis, the beast, is operational, then we go to the dresser to put the suite on the beast. And this is the next station.
Did mine run on the dyno already?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
Watch it have been like yesterday or the day before and we just missed it. That's okay. Here I am sitting on my Lamborghini, and you know what? You can sit on your very own Lamborghini too, and also have $30,000 cash. And it's quite simple, actually. All you have to do is click on the link in the description, make sure that you're subscribed to our YouTube channel.
And if we have 1 million subscribers by August 1st, 2024, then we'll randomly select one winner of this awesome prize. Exclusions apply.
That's...
Oh, the key? Oh, cool. Oh, and it's black.
Dude.
Did you know it was...
No. It must be because you're
because of the interior is black?
Anodized.
That is so much cooler.
Dude.
I love it.
Don't lose that one.
I'm not going to lose it. I should give it to you.
Or later. For the assembly of the body, it's already the second time that we are assembling the parts on the rolling chassis. First of all, we send the monocoque, the frames, the rear structure to one partner, which put the complete body on it without any paint, adjust every part to each other, and then the kit is numbered together.
Yeah.
Then it goes to our painter. It will take to them 3 till 4 weeks to paint the complete car. It came back dedicated for one chassis to put again these parts together. The parts are arriving on such kind of trolley, which you can see in the back. And then here it takes about 2 till 3 days to assemble the exterior on the body. Once the body is assembled, we go to the shower with the car to make sure that there is no leak, no water entry.
Yeah.
It takes about 30 minutes, and there is one person inside without any interior to look if there is some water ingress. And then we go to put the interior in one next station over there, where also the interior, which was already pre-assembled in a cubing to make sure that everything is fitting together, is again assembled and adjusted in the real monocoque. Then we will protect the complete car with some anti-stone chip and so on. And we drive with every car about 300 kilometers before delivery, because we want to make sure that everything is running well.
Where do you drive them?
We are going on open roads, and when it's finished, we are coming to Colmar, where I have a partnership with an airport, because in France we have the problem that the speed limit is 130 km, and we have safety functions which are appearing over 250. And to test them, we are going on the landing piste of the airport between two airplanes, and making this test about till 330 kilometers per hour, only to make sure that all the safety stuff is working.
That's good.
But the car is quite hot when we finish that, and then we come back over the highway to cool down the car. And on the next day, we change the gearbox oil, we change the wheels, because it's still the slave wheels which we are using for that.
That's right.
Make the optimization, prepare the car again, and drive the car again, but then fully with the wheels and tires like the customers, and everything should be finished, and it is finished. When he came back, again 50 kilometers to make sure that everything is well.
I'm just shocked that every car is driven over 200 miles an hour before when they're testing. They're putting so 300 kilometers. They're putting 200 miles on the car. They're driving it over 200 miles an hour. That's pretty impressive. That's awesome.
And
I'm
then,
shocked.
When we came back,
Yes.
We are going to prepare the car, removing all protection, polishing it, optimizing it, cleaning it, and then it will be presented to our auditor, which is calibrated to
Yes.
make the assumption of the car in this light tunnel.
Yeah.
He will spend 6 hours on each car,
Just looking it over.
inspecting every square centimeters to make sure that everything is fine. Huh? Once he validated it, every Friday, so in 2 days,
Yeah.
we are making the reception of the car of the week, and that means me, my head of quality, head of production, head of after sales, head of sales, are meeting each other in the light tunnel to make sure this is the quality we want to deliver.
Wow.
That means each car leaving the factory, I was sitting in, starting it, testing everything, because I was head of quality of Bugatti for 8 years. So
So cool.
I'm quite confident in
Yes.
what I'm delivering.
Yes. And again, you guys build the best quality. I mean, we've driven our Bugatti the hardest, and
Yeah.
it just did really, really well. So.
Great. Nice to hear that.
Of course,
Thank you.
yes. You guys do great work.
And that's how we spent 2 months with one
Yeah.
car in the atelier, from the assembly to the testing and the research always of perfection. That's what I mean with this finessing, you know, between the light tunnel and the
Yeah.
optimization. This is always a hard fight.
So now the $4 million question, when will that one be done? Late February, I was told late February, is that too?
I think so, because
You think so?
Good. A verbal contract is binding in the state of New York.
we will assemble the exterior in January, and then the rolling test, let's say the test drive, should be end of January, beginning of February.
Okay.
So middle
Maybe.
end it should
Okay.
be, but depending of the finishing activities, if we
understand.
remark something wrong, then it takes more
Maybe
time.
longer. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And you should know also that your car still is a moment where the car is on the rolling road, and also in your hands, the car is connected to Molsheim via satellite,
Oh, that's
sending
right,
us the
Yes.
telemetric data.
Yeah.
And if there is one concern or something, one light pop up, we also receive the analyze or the message in Molsheim and can make a diagnostic from.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys have done that before, yeah. That's fantastic.
And that's how it happens sometimes that we call you, take care, the rear left
Tail light?
tires
Oh, I thought I was going to say tail light.
is low, and maybe look at it if there is not a screw in,
Yes.
and sometimes it happens.
We have had
yes.
a screw in the, I changed my own tires on the Bugatti too.
Ready?
It was pretty fun, yeah. Because I own a wheel and tire company. We
Okay.
sell wheels and tires in the U.S., so I took it upon myself to swap them out and put new tires on it. So
Great, congrats.
yes. And then we needed another set after. after
Maybe
that.
you should come after here because I wounded some people. And now-
You wouldn't think, looking at it like that it could be started. But
I know.
And it can be driven like this, huh?
let's go.
That's the real deal.
It's like the Monza with no windshield, or the McLaren Elva.
Yeah, the Elva, Monza.
Yeah. I've now done that, so
Yeah, why not? Same thing.
we're good.
It is so cool seeing it in the state. I love the slave wheels.
Yeah. He's just throwing a temporary seat in there. I
amazing.
love it.
Yeah, we don't want
I
to
love
damage
it.
yours. you know?
No, I respect that.
This dude's getting a video. I love it. Sounds just like your other one.
That's awesome. It's just longer.
So this is the real deal. This is exactly how the
Yeah.
machine is working, you know?
Whoa. That sounded a little different. Can you do it again? Nah, that sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
Very cool. That was not expected.
I know. I don't
Thank
think
you,
you did
sir.
that today. That's pretty cool.
Cool. I got to hear it before I officially own it. That's kind of cool. Well, nice. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Trying to do this as carefully as possible.
And we make the same one when the car is finished. Huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Bro, so cool.
That's crazy.
Oh, you can see some of like the intricacies of the rooftop. Everything is carbon. Nice. They have double wrapped. Oh, the steering wheel is black and orange. Oh, it's carbon. That's right. I'm like remembering everything that we spec'd. Carbon fiber.
That's super cool.
I'm so glad we did the black anodized aluminum.
I know. We were fighting on that for a little
That's
bit.
'cause it
We
was
could not
50
decide.
It was $50,000 or
Yeah.
something.
It
But
looks
it was,
so good.
It's the right call. Too old for this. There we go. Thank you.
Bro, what did you find?
So we located my Bugatti Veyron model. So these are all of them that left the factory the way that they left the factory. Of course, people changed them later on, but that's mine. We found that pretty quickly too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. You could tell with the...
I bet this is in order of production, so it's like one of the first 30
Maybe.
cars ever made.
Very cool.
We'll come back
That's a
here in
neat
10
one.
years, we'll find your Super Sport in the same cabinet.
Do you have the same for the Chiron?
Not yet, no.
Oh, that's okay.
Look at
I was
this.
gonna say, it'd be cool to find mine. We're gonna take a quick break from this video and give a big shout out to our sponsor, Denvix. We're gonna jump right into its standout features. First off, this bad boy comes with a mighty 15,000 milliamp battery. Now the market is flooded with false claims, which is why Denvix stands out. We put it to the test by inflating a tire from flat to full, and guess what? Even after a full tire, we've got a whopping 90% battery left. That means you can inflate around 7 to 8 tires on a single charge, plus this thing gets up to a max PSI of 150. Now that's power, but wait, there is more. It's not just a tire hero, but it is a charging superhero too. With two-way fast charging up to 45 watts, you can juice up your phones, laptops, iPads, and more. It's like having a power station in your hands. Now let's shed some light on another feature, quite literally. The ultra bright light on this thing can illuminate an entire vehicle. Perfect for inflating a tire or fixing up your vehicle in the dark. And that yellow camping light, it adds a warm and cozy ambiance. But wait, there's an alert light too, ideal for emergencies. So there you have it, the Denvix tire inflator, a powerhouse that goes beyond just tires. Charge up, light up, and conquer the roads, but more importantly, be sure to click on that link in the description to learn more about this awesome inflator.
This is one of the first 5 3 Series cars. That's actually the car I drove here so for the first time in 2005. It's a car that we have been using because it's maybe 40,000 kilometers. We're using to do a test drive at that period. That's an evolution. That was later we came on with open roof car. So that's an open roof car, but with 1,200 horsepower. So it's a highest evolution.
This was in the video,
Transport
right?
Vitesse, yes.
I thought I
And
saw
this car, I mean, basically achieved the world record of speed with a Chinese driver because we presented the car in China. So the car went to 408 kilometers, which is 254 miles.
This exact
something like
car
it.
right here.
And that's the exact car. So the car
Very
is signed.
cool.
We have been using because when Bugatti is producing a world record car, we continue to use for customer drive. So I did a lot of kilometers with that
cool.
car. Just like, so I think the car is again 40,000 kilometers. Just an information about logo. World record car are carrying black logo.
Nice.
So when we make a world record, we're using
Swap.
a black logo, and then we will make an edition for, like, for example, today is a 300 plus.
Yes.
30 cars will carry a black logo. This was an edition of 8 cars. 8 cars will carry this black logo.
Okay.
We broke the rules a bit when we make Chiron Noir, which is also Chiron. We make 20 cars, I think, which are black, full black interior, everything is black. And they also accept to make this black logo, but except these 20 cars, it's only booked for a world record car.
You could see the difference in I've never seen the headlights side by side, by the way.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
I only saw before and after, but when you see them side by side, you can, it's,
That's a difference. The bolide,
that's
which will be the next version, is in interpretation. Why? Because we want to use our iconic engine, the 16-cylinder, the same than you have in your Super Sport, 1,600 horsepower. But if you want to create a car today, you will not use this engine. Why? Because you see the engine size and the gearbox is already 600 kilograms. So I mean, we want to use because it's an iconic engine.
Yes.
But it's not like what you will create if you wanted to make. But we make a car which is very efficient, a lot of downforce, which will go very fast. I mean, a straight line, 4-wheel drive, a lot of power on only 40 cars, non-homologated on roads. On track, some people will only keep it as a collecting item. They will never use it, I guess. And then some other will time to time go on a racetrack, but you need the race organization around. You need like 4 or 5 people, real car, because you need a lot of cooling. It's like extreme high performance car, which is there. But design is very nice because it looks a bit different from a race car. It's a race car, but with a DNA from Bugatti.
Chiron.
And then after we're going in the past, and that was the iconic cars from the past with a Type 35 and these kind of cars.
You could smell the gas.
Yeah,
You could smell the gas in the old
the gas.
Do you guys know driving these things?
Yeah, so that kind
Bro,
of.
it is strong.
This one are drivable cars, and then you could see. I mean, imagine this car going 110 miles per hour on these kind of roads.
Will this start up?
You have to work a lot on that
They
thing.
start up?
Yeah, start like that. So
Can you start it?
No. It's a very old process. I mean, you have to adjust the timing. You have to adjust. You have to pump the fuel, and then.
It's too much.
This is my colleagues from this period. But then also, if you see and look to the bolt, when I see the bolt, when I said Bugatti, what he was creating, it's still a bolt and a nut doing the same function. But this shape. Yes. Is unique. If you want to make a replica of this bolt today, it's €5 each. Yeah. So he wanted to make things which are unique. Square. If you're missing, you have to come back. Like the wheels, if you take wheels from that period, he was the first one to create aluminum wheels with drum brakes inside.
Built-in drum brakes.
But that is like crazy. Why? Because at that time, remember, many accidents. If you break a wheel like that by accident, you could not weld it. You had to come back here and to buy it as an expensive wheel. If it was like spoke wheels like that, you could repair it everywhere you would like to be repaired. So he was always advanced, but always like thinking, how can I make money? He was an artist. An artist is spending more money than making it. Yeah. But he was very creative. He could like remake a new interpretation and a new vision. What we try to do is also to break the rules to what is existing today. You just need two things. The first thing is very easy, is to get a driving license. The second thing you need, which is a little bit more difficult, is to get €4 million.
There you go.
If you get €4 million, a driving license and 2 fingers, basically you can drive the fastest and the most powerful car in the world. Ready? Ridiculous.
That's pretty scary.
And what we want is to produce high performance car, but very safe. That means you could use anytime you want. And another test you can do also to show you the performance of the car. If you drive that car, doesn't matter the speed, it can be 200 miles per hour. If you jump on the brake, you can put your hands up the car will go straight down. The only thing, hold your body. Otherwise, your head will be hitting that, and for the rest of your life, you will get a AB sign on your face. I will stop now. That you will be driving.
It's full electric. I think mine had a manual up front.
With a Bugatti, you have always a choice: power or brake. The brake are better than the acceleration. The acceleration is crazy.
Oh yeah, the brakes
0 to 100 in a car like that, or 0 to 60 miles is 2.4 seconds with a Super Sport, but 100 to 0 is 2.3. So the car is basically braking better than it's accelerating, so it gives you this confidence to make a choice when you overtake. If you make a mistake of interpretation, so no worries, you still have like a massive brake. We get these wings coming up.
Oh, I love
the wings is very important. Why? Because it's 50% of your braking performance is coming from the wing. Go for it. Full.
I forgot about the windows after 90. Yeah, that's easy. We could have gone further. You want me to park in the same spot?
Yeah, you can park any place where you want.
How was it?
Like an old friend. It feels like they've refined the steering a little bit. It's a little bit better, and I feel like it's a little bit more responsive, but I don't know if that's just me.
It's correct. It's a bit, we're trying to make it like a bit more connected, a bit more front grip.
Yes.
So it's just like when you drive, you feel more feedback from the steering wheel, even if it's a car made for straight line. We wanted to make a bit more dynamics than the Chiron was, or Chiron Sport at that time.
I'm excited to get mine. I mean, it reminded me of how like comfortable and classy and awesome these are, and I miss mine, so I will have one soon. Well, thank you very much for showing us around. It was awesome. Thank you for showing me my car specifically, and I appreciate your time. I know it's valuable.
Very pleased to meet you.
Thank you. Appreciate you, sir. All right.